This is officially the Fever warning the WNBA. It's about to be on. We'll take a look at that footage in just a second.
The Indiana Fever just sent shockwaves through the WNBA with their latest workout video. Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlyn Clark training together isn't just off-season content, it's a warning to the rest of the league. This backcourt has the potential to be one of the most unstoppable in WNBA history. Mitchell's explosive first step and deep shooting make her a constant threat, while Clark's elite playmaking and limitless range take the offense to another level. And it's not just them. The Fever have stacked their roster with key additions like Natasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, and Tawana Bonner. The rebuild is over. Indiana isn't just looking to compete. They're gearing up to chase a championship.
I was already interested to see what this team was going to do with just the big three, right? Caitlyn Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston. But they went out there, they signed Sophie Cunningham, they signed Natasha Howard. They went and got Tawana Bonner.
Have you seen what's happening in Indiana? The Fever just dropped a workout video that has the entire WNBA on alert. But this isn't just another off-season training session. This is the foundation of something special. Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlyn Clark are developing chemistry that could reshape the league next season. With their elite scoring and skill sets complementing each other perfectly, this duo has the potential to become one of the most electrifying backcourts in WNBA history.
Right here. So Kelsey Mitchell in slow motion. Just videoing Kelsey Mitchell there. A nice high five with Caitlyn Clark. Kelsey Mitchell, oh my god, pass. Caitlyn Clark setting screens. Okay, let's just watch this. And we'll break it down.
What makes this backcourt different from every other star guard duo in the league? Let's start with the numbers. Kelsey Mitchell averaged 19.2 points per game last season, and Caitlyn Clark put up the exact same. That's 38.4 points between just two players. But the stats only tell part of the story. It's their chemistry, versatility, and ability to take over games that have experts buzzing. This isn't just a high-scoring duo. It's a backcourt that has the potential to redefine the way the game is played.
Did they just run the three-man weave? Are they running the three-man? Is Stephanie White just saying, you know what, with all these offensive players, I think we can do whatever the hell we want. We're running the three-man weave.
Let's talk about Mitchell. In this workout, you can see exactly what makes her so dangerous. Her explosive first step leaves defenders in the dust. But it's not just about speed. It's about precision. She knows when to attack and how to create separation like few others in the league. One standout moment in the video, Mitchell drilling a perfect fadeaway jumper. It's a clear warning. Give her even a fraction of space, and she'll make you pay.
This is basketball. No look. We just saw the Kelsey Mitchell no look.
Now, add Caitlyn Clark to the equation. Her shooting range is unlike anything women's basketball has ever seen. Just like Steph Curry changed the NBA by forcing defenses to guard the logo, Clark is doing the same in the WNBA, but what really stands out in this workout isn't just her scoring. It's her court vision. She's not just hunting for her own shot. She's seeing the game steps ahead, finding passing lanes that most players wouldn't even consider. Her ability to stretch the floor and create plays makes this backcourt even more unstoppable.
Okay, so this is literally what has happened here. So Caitlyn has pitched to Kelsey Mitchell. Caitlyn gets the ball from Kelsey Mitchell, pitches back to Kelsey Mitchell, comes off a flare screen from Bree Turner, while Kelsey Mitchell has the ISO and Bree Turner rolling to the basket. Oh my god.
What's really exciting is the chemistry they're already showing. In one sequence, Clark fires a no-look pass to Mitchell on a backdoor cut. It's so seamless, you'd think they've been teammates for years. They're also working on the little details, like off-ball movement and setting screens to free each other up. One standout moment, Clark sets a textbook flare screen for Mitchell, leaving her wide open for a three. Now picture trying to stop that in a real game at full speed. Good luck with that.
Working with Caitlyn Clark, and then look, the league's best backcourt is back. The deadliest scoring offensive combination in the WNBA, in Caitlyn Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, back in the lab.
Now, imagine the defensive nightmare this duo creates. If you overcommit to stopping Clark's deep shooting, Mitchell will explode past you with her quick first step. Play them too tight, and Clark will either drain a step-back three or find an open teammate with a pinpoint pass. When they're locked in, there's no good defensive strategy. Opponents will have to pick their poison, and no matter what they choose, it's going to be a problem.
Keith Porter's playing defense, and his jaw, he's obviously looking in this workout, and he's like, okay, yeah, we're going to make you make a read. So I'm going to either cover the roller, or I'm going to have to cover the,
This is exactly why basketball experts aren't exaggerating when they call this the most dangerous backcourt in the WNBA. Their games mesh perfectly. Mitchell's elite scoring and quickness, combined with Clark's limitless shooting range and court vision, create a backcourt with no weak spots. The footage says it all. This duo is building something special, and if they keep developing at this pace, they won't just be great. They could dominate the league for years to come.
Kelsey Mitchell is laser focused on the basket. That is how she's wired. That's her DNA, and everybody needs a player like that. Every team needs a player who can just go get a bucket at any time, right? Like, who is hardwired to go for the basket. And then Clark makes you think, because she could pull up and shoot, she could drive by you, she could distribute.
Last season, this duo put up big numbers despite having no real system. Coaches even joked that the Fever's offense was just give the ball to Clark or Mitchell and pray. And yet, they still found ways to dominate. But this workout footage shows something different. It's not just two stars getting better. It's the foundation of a championship-caliber offense being put in place, and that should have the rest of the WNBA very, very worried.
I am very, and I mean this when I say this, very excited for what this Fever team does.
Let's talk about what no one was mentioning last season. While fans were mesmerized by highlight plays, the real story was how basic the Fever's offense actually was. Under Christie's sides, there was little to no structure. Just elite players left to figure things out on their own, with random lineup changes and questionable timeout decisions. This team wasn't thriving because of the coaching. They were overcoming it. That's what makes this workout footage so eye-opening. It's the first real evidence that the Fever are finally putting a true offensive system in place, and that changes everything.
That's an interesting one. Either way, it's good to see Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlyn working out. It's good to see the players. Good to see Bree Turner there as well. It's good to see a lot of these players coming together for the Fever.
For the first time, we're seeing a real offensive system take shape. Watch those pitch exchanges. They're running three-man weave actions, something that was completely missing from last year's playbook. The Fever are finally incorporating the kind of structured, high-level sets that championship teams use. This isn't just raw talent carrying them anymore. It's a system being built, and that could take them to an entirely new level.
Seeing Caitlyn Clark and Kelsey Mitchell back together is great and everything, but it doesn't change what happened from last season. What is going to change what happened from last season is their continued growth of chemistry, and then all the other pieces that they got to work with.
Game changer? Stephanie White. Her arrival is reshaping everything. Look at what she did with the Connecticut Sun. She built an offense that maximized every player's strengths, creating a structured, efficient, and relentless system. Every player knew their role, and defenses struggled to keep up now. She's bringing that same championship-level expertise to the Fever. And with the talent on this roster, the rest of the WNBA better take notice.
If Stephanie White, if she has enough offensive talent, I mean this, if she has enough offensive talent that she's able to run the three-man weave in professional basketball, she is just the greatest coach of all time.
You know what's crazy? Even without a real offensive system last season, the Fever still put up impressive numbers. They were already tough to guard. Now imagine what happens when you give those same elite scorers a system built to generate easy buckets. It's like taking a Ferrari that's been running on regular gas and finally filling it with premium. This team was already dangerous. Now, they're about to hit an entirely new gear.
This team was the best offensive team in the WNBA when their entire offense was, and I kid you not, we run the floor, Caitlyn hits shooters, or Caitlyn runs a pick and roll. If Caitlyn's open for three, she shoots. If she's open for the drive, she doesn't shoot.
Watch that workout footage again and pay attention to the flare screens and roll actions. Those aren't just drills. They're intentional plays designed to create scoring opportunities. Once White's full system is in place, these actions will lead to open looks that simply weren't there last season. Defenses won't just be trying to stop individual stars anymore. They'll be scrambling to keep up with a well-oiled system of movement and screening designed to create mismatches at every turn.
Was Caitlyn Clark passes the ball to a wing, she runs under the basket, sets a fake screen for Aaliyah Boston, and comes off a pin down from the trailing big. Or if Caitlyn Clark starts on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, the play is the ball's passed to the opposite side, there's a pin down for Caitlyn, and if that pin down doesn't work, Kelsey Mitchell goes dribble, 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 step back, long two brick.
The proof is right there in the workout video. This isn't just practice, it's the groundwork for a more advanced offensive system. Last season, the Fever relied on isolation plays and simple pick and rolls. Now, we're seeing coordinated actions where all 5 players have defined roles, creating a chain reaction that forces defensive breakdowns. This isn't just about talent anymore, it's about strategy, and that makes the Fever more dangerous than ever.
Like, it was the most basic, the literal worst offense in the history I've seen in the history of basketball for a team that was good at offense. Like, they had no half-court offense last year, none whatsoever, and they were so good because they had pace. They had a point guard that was able to run the show like nobody else, and as well as that, they had the point guard who was able to run the show, which again, no other team had.
And those defensive breakdowns we're seeing in practice, they're only going to get worse for the rest of the league, because the Fever didn't just adjust their playbook, they completely overhauled their roster. While all eyes were on Clark and Mitchell's development, Indiana's front office was making moves that went unnoticed. They quietly built a championship-caliber supporting cast, pulling off one of the smartest roster upgrades in recent memory. The headlines focused on the stars, but behind the scenes, the Fever were assembling a super team. And now, the rest of the league is about to find out.
Well, don't look now, but the Indiana Fever have assembled what I think many of us believe could be a bit of a super team.